I don't know why. I woke up in the night and kind of a restless sleep, but it wasn't too bad. I think I hit the gym, shower, weeding, sleep. I mean, I'm booked till 8 tonight, which would be 3 hours of waiting, another 3 and 2, so 8 hours. And a little bit of time in between those two. It'll be good though. It'll be good. Alright, just finished my workout. I'm still coughing, but it's not too bad. Been thinking about getting a gas scooter, because I think that could have a ton of potential. And they're only like $150. If I can get one that collapses, I wouldn't need a bike rack then. I would sell this guy for maybe, I don't know what I could get for it, maybe $100 or something. So that could be a really cool option. I also spotted some pallets. One of my customers, Marcy, who I stayed the night at, she needs some pallets. And she said she'd pay me $5 if I could find 2 good ones. I saw some on my run last night, so I'm gonna stop there, talk to the manager and see if I can snag them. Just talked to the manager and he was like, I don't care. When I asked him if I could take the pallets. All right, finished that job. This lady, she wrote me a check last time, so she knew my full name. And she was like, I don't know if this is weird, but I stalked you, Ben. I know your story. But she was pretty happy. It's good to, so it's cool to see people find out, and then actually it builds trust and reputation. Whereas some people, if I tell them, I actually think it can come across as more outlandish or sketchy if I am telling them about the project, opposed to if they find out, because if they find out through YouTube, they like know it's real and it's actually a thing that I'm doing. If I tell them, it just doesn't, I don't know, oopsie, doesn't feel as real. All right, just finished that weeding job, made another $60. Actually, both of today's jobs were returning clients, which tells me a couple things. One, people are happy with my work and my customer service. And 2, all of the jobs that I land, most of them have more work after the original job I do. So when looking at how much revenue I'm producing from each sale, it ends up being a lot more than just 3 hours of work. It's often 9 or even more if I do continual maintenance. So I'm rebooking this lady in the schedule for in about 3 days to do more work for her. So this will be my 3rd visit. And then through that, we're building trust, doing a good job, and then hopefully she'll tell her friends and stuff. On that note, I've also gotten in the past, I think that's the wrong gear. It was the wrong gear. In the past, oh man, I'm trying to remember. In the past 4 jobs, I've gotten tips on 3 of them with charging $20 an hour. So that's also indicating to me that my customers are satisfied. And as my skills get better, and like a job I did yesterday, I actually had weed bags, like for putting the weeds in and putting out by the road for the city to take. I actually provided the bags for them, and that added value because he didn't have to run to the store then. It's just something he didn't think about. And makes me appear more professional and prepared because I am more professional and prepared. You know, I got my own gloves. I'm going to buy some of my own tools coming up here. I actually, during this weeding job, booked a meeting to estimate. It's basically another job moving dirt, very similar to what I did a few weeks ago. But he doesn't have a wheelbarrow or shovels, so I'll need to figure out how to get a wheelbarrow. I'll probably borrow one because it takes so much space up. And then the shovels I'll probably buy. But that should be a good job. I am going to probably start doing a rate of 25 an hour just because I think I'm getting over that hump of like beginner suck. And so I'm getting a bit better. I have my own tools. Some of the things I know how to do better than the customers. So like today, if I would have had the right tools, I could have cleaned up the edge of her lawn a lot better. So I'm gonna do some research and we'll see what I have time for, but I'm gaining experience and it's happening. I'm getting experience quickly because I'm doing it all day, every day. So it's like, it's hard to stay bad when you put 10 hours a day into it. And when you're passionate about trying to become better. I'm still not the best yet, but I'm getting close to the point where I feel like my customers are happy enough with my service that I could charge $25 an hour and people wouldn't feel like I'm ripping them off. So maybe in the next week or two, I can start charging that. And I think towards the end of September here, the demand's gonna die down a lot, depending on probably the weather. The demand for getting things like that done. Probably leaf raking will still be in demand. So I should still have work. And I've been kind of brainstorming some ideas of what I'm gonna do once the weeding and leaf season is over. I think I'm not sure if there'll be some dead time between that and snow shoveling season, because maybe I just go ahead and shovel driveways. That is an option, but I have several other business ideas in mind that I'll be kind of mulling over. Every hour I'm weeding, I just have time to think and weigh each idea and play it out a few steps. Because, okay, it's like you have the idea, play it out 6 steps forward. Is it still getting you to where you want? Weeding was like, well, it could get me to where I want, but I'm really not passionate about weeding. I do like helping customers. I don't think it's a good idea to do that long term for my mental health, probably, of just pulling weeds all day, every day. And I see some roadblocks in playing that path out and how much I can scale. I don't think I can scale weeding. I think I could scale into landscaping pretty easy, or home services, so pressure washing, window cleaning. Weeding is just one of those things. It's like, I don't think people would pay $30 an hour. They might do a job, like they might let me bid out a job and I'll end up making $30 an hour. That could be more realistic, but I don't know that customers will be comfortable with $30 an hour. All right, I just finished up a weeding job. It's always nice because some of my clients are older ladies and they're very kind and caring. So I have gotten food I got supper. Which I love. I gave this lady 1 pallet. She didn't end up giving me some money, but not a big deal. I mean, $5 is not insane. I'm just glad I could help her out. I'm on my way to bid out this dirt moving job. Well, about 15 minutes early, so I'm gonna give him a call and then see where we're at after that. It's already getting dark, but I got a pallet in the back I should probably break down before bed. Hopefully I have some energy after this.
Hello?
Hey man, how you doing? This is Ben.
Hey Ben, how's it going?
Good. I'm running a little bit early and I can head straight over. I'm about, like, less than 5 minutes away from you.
Perfect.
Okay, sweet. I'll be over in a few minutes then. Okay, I just bid that job.
Take the next
I said $400. I think from
right to stay on Brockman Boulevard.
just me, it would probably take about 6 hours, which is not a bad price. I told them I was also pretty flexible on price, and if they felt that 300 was more fair,
Take the next right to stay
that they
on
were more than
Brockman
welcome
Boulevard.
to. Oopsie. Weird. It's a weird intersection. That if they felt like a lower amount was more fair, they were welcome to throw it out,
In
and
a
we can work
quarter
from there.
mile, Turn left onto Packard Street.
I also met this kid while working for Marcy that I'm hoping to work with in the future. He seems like a pretty hard worker and happy to, just hard worker, and seems pretty honest. You don't never know until you know. But I think it'd be really cool to get like a crew together of people that are my age and hardworking and honest, and prioritize. Really, what I want to drill into the mindset is like the customer is way more important than anything else. So we're like, customer is forefront in our mind. They're where the money comes from. They're like, that's our whole point of being there, is to make the customer happy. So understanding what the customer actually wants, and then understanding how we can get the customer what they want. So the situation with that, I bid out the job for $400. What I would do is I would offer this kid that I met $75, and then I would offer Caleb $75, and I think it would take about 3 hours. So they'd be making like $22 an hour, and then I would take home. See. And then I would take home 75, 150. I would take home 250, which is, I love that because that's a great deal for me, because it's like, it's going to be about 4.5 hours of work, including the bid time. And it's a great deal for Caleb and this other kid, because they're making $22.50 an hour, which is way better than either of them are currently making. So that's where, if I can put this, if it ends up working out, that's a really good win-win-win. Where like, they were excited to work. Caleb was really excited to work for me for $20 an hour. Same with this other kid. And if I can land them, I think it would end up being $75 divided by 3 would be, oh wait, I'm an idiot. That's just $25 an hour. Yeah, $25 an hour is not too shabby for, having no skills. And hopefully the goal would be to bang it out in about 3 hours of labor time. And I would need to buy a couple shovels, a rake, and maybe some other tools, but it'd be cool. The customer just said that they would get me an answer by the end of the night, but that they need to talk it over. I asked if there was anything specific that was holding them back from making a decision, and they didn't say. They said, no, not really. It's just a thing we do as like a couple. It sounded like, to stay on the same page, which is honestly pretty smart. I feel like before you make any large purchase or large financial decision, convene with your spouse and think about it for some amount of time, and talk where you don't have the pressure of somebody trying to sell you. I feel like that's very, very smart on their end. My ideal would be like, okay, if they feel like the price is too high, because it's not a massive job. If they feel like the price is too high, what I'd love for them to do is just tell me that, and then we can work down to maybe 300 or 250. And then that would be great. Worst case scenario, they just say they'll come up with some reason of why they want to work with somebody else or don't need it done or whatever. In which case, not the end of the world. It just isn't. I just wasn't able to capitalize on that opportunity. All right, the customer just responded, and ooh, what? I drove all the way here with these bolts on top, and they didn't fly off. How is that even possible? I like these. Oopsie, I already had these bolts taken once. Oh man, yeah. The customer responded, would 300 work? And I was like, yes it would. We'll see. If they get back to me, might land this job for 300. I'm quickly learning I should shop at Walmart, because these are very comparable tools in performance, for the most part, performance-wise, at a heck of a lot cheaper. But you live and you learn. It's okay. Boy, oh boy, did I go shopping. $200 down the drain, but I'm making good money every day, and everything I purchased has an intention and a purpose behind it, and it will make me more money in the future. So, first up, gas tank. I can fill that. My gas gauge does not work, so if I fill that sucker up, I'll have an emergency backup, and I'll never have issues with being out of gas and being stranded. Second up, leaf rake. I keep breaking my customers' tools, so I'm buying my own because it's going to cost me more to replace all my customers' tools because they're usually old and weathered. This was like $8, but that will serve me well because leaf season is coming up. Broom. Speaking of breaking tools, I broke one of the ladies that I worked for today, her broom, and so I have a replacement, and then I also have one for myself because I'm tired of using customers' tools and breaking them. I also got a rock rake. This is perfect for the dirt job that I'm hoping the customer will pull through and commit to. If not, it's just going to be helpful in general, especially with the big weeding job that my customer just said that he was cool if I had both Caleb and the other kid work on. Push broom. This is for sweeping driveways. When me and Caleb did our 9-hour weeding job, we used a small broom because that's all we had available. It was very slow and tedious. If I had my own tools, that would have gone way quicker and it would have been way more efficient. Simple shovels. This will be for heavy weeding with the big giant weeding job that is coming up. I got 2 of those because I'll have some guys, hopefully have some guys working with me. More just weed bags. I don't know exactly what they're called even, but those will be good for any typical weeding client that wants me to put it out by the side of the road for the city to take. Got some treats, just a couple bucks, $2 here. 12 Pop-Tarts for $2. I was not complaining. So some snacks. And then I got also, what else did I get? Oh yeah, a clipper, because I broke one of my customers as well. This will be returned to them because I feel bad for breaking everyone's tools. A lock, so I can lock my stuff at Planet Fitness because their gyms, their lockers don't have locks built in, and because their memberships are so cheap and accessible, there's some sketchy people that have access to Planet Fitness. So got that lock so I don't have to worry about my stuff while I'm showering and working out. Big one, headlamp. This will allow me to work at night much better. Somebody recommended it. On point. It's $35, but battery lasts 5 hours and it's rechargeable. So I'm really excited for that. Speaking of which, it's night and I'm gonna need to use it tonight. Another light that I can stick to my truck and work wherever I am, I think. Yes, boom. This was $8, so I figured probably worth it for $8 to keep me going for longer. We got more snacks. One more thing. Oh yeah, shampoo, because they don't have that at Planet Fitness. And that's $200 of supplies. I am spending a lot of money, but if you look at my calendar, the caliber of jobs I'm getting slowly going up, and as I get more tools, I'm able to take on more and more jobs that I just look more professional. But all that aside, literally aside, I want to take apart this pallet and figure out how I'm gonna fit all that in there. It's gonna be, I need to organize some stuff for sure. Oh, shoisties. For any of you that are telling me my tools were not worth buying, look at me. Deconstruct this pallet with absolute ease. Now, I'm left with a sketchy pile of lumber. Some of it is broken because I'm not a perfect pallet disassembler. Oh, let's pull every nail. Alrighty. If I had some screws, I'd put this lumber together sooner rather than later. Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. I got, these are double stacked, so I got a fair amount here for, I think it probably took me 20 minutes to break down fully. Maybe 30 minutes would be giving it some extra time. Not too bad. I have been hardcore putting my mind to work figuring out how I'm going to store everything I want to in this truck. If you look, that is what I've come up with so far. Let me see if I can. It's probably pretty dark on camera, so I'll blast a light there. So I'll jump up here and show a better look. So the way these are all arranged, I use the lumber. It's not mounted or anything. It's all just sitting here. But this would carry all the tools I bought today. I would need to mount it through the fiberglass using a big long bolt. I would need 6 of those. But I like this because it would hold all of these sturdy. And I know what you're thinking. I'm gonna go start driving and they're gonna fly off. I'm gonna cut channels in here with a saw. So like maybe halfway through, about this deep, and then this wide, so that all these can set down in those channels. And then what I'm gonna do is run another board about like this long across the top of it and put a hinge right here and a latch right here, and do that with these two. And then we'll have members, we'll have basically these, all of this middle part will be locked down, and then you undo the latch here and the latch there, it folds up, and then you can grab all the tools you'd like. But then they're all neatly organized in these grooves that I will cut into here. And then what I'll do to get that little piece of wood is, instead of using this 2x4 that's sitting right here, I will actually rip this down with a saw into 2 pieces, one that's kind of narrower and one that's bigger. So we'll have a 2x4 and then like a, I don't know, it might be a 2x2. Oh yeah, this is a 2x6. So we'll have a 2x4 and a 2x2. The 2x2 will, ah man, that's annoying. Okay, the 2x2 is gonna sit across all of here, and have the hinge point, boom, boom, unhook, fold up, unhook, fold up. Now we have access to all of these tools, and then they're nice and secured while I'm driving. To do that, I think I would need cordless saw, which I'm working with on getting that. I'm talking to somebody on Marketplace. They have cordless saw and a leaf blower for $50. Figured that's a pretty good deal. To cut the channels and rip down the 2x6, and then I'm gonna need 6 bolts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go through here and into the truck topper. I'm also gonna need to make sure to silicone everything really good. I'm gonna need 2 hinges. I think I'll get a box, like a big container of wood screws and varying lengths, so that I can mount everything that I want to in the future together. So I'm gonna put the hinges right here with those wood screws I buy, and then I'll put the hinge onto the 2x2 that's gonna be sitting up here. that'll be run across. I'll buy a couple small latches that I can mount onto here and there. And then I'll need to cut the grooves in here with the cordless saw. And then that'll be, all of these tools will be secured up here perfectly good. With the potential in the future, could possibly do some on the side here. Could be really interesting over the window. I would also like to spray paint everything black, because that might help it not look quite so crackhead, because that's kind of, branding is important. This is going to look like a crackhead rig no matter what, but I think a little bit of black spray paint could help it seem less sketchy. So shopping list for tomorrow, those 6 bolts. I'm gonna need some washers as well, because I kind of want to sandwich the fiberglass with a nut washer on this face, and then on the inner face a washer and a nut. Silicone everything really good, sandwich those, and then we'll basically have something that's securely waterproofed with a protruding thread of about that long. And then with that thread, I'll drill a hole all the way through this and through that and through the fiberglass. Well, okay, I just made a shopping list. Yeah, I think about $100 would get us there, and that would give us a black looking rack here. Everything would be mounted securely. I can swap it up for whatever business I'm running. Like, obviously, as fall goes on, this business is gonna die out, the weeding and landscaping and raking. But shovels, I could put shovels up there. I can work with Caleb and do shoveling. There's probably not gonna be a ton of days, from what I hear. There might not be a ton of days where shoveling is good, but whatever I decide to do, it's gonna be handy to have a nice rack up here and have these tools too. It's like, these tools aren't going anywhere. I might get a storage unit if I need to, or give them to somebody that, like one of my clients. But I like that a lot. I'm really happy with that. It's gonna take some work, probably the rest of this, several days this week to get it all together. But if I can do it successfully for around $100, well, $150 counting the circular saw and leaf blower that I'll buy. If I can do it successfully for about that price range, I think it's probably worth it. Just because it's a pain to shift everything around. It also, as professional or unprofessional as things might be, this will look more professional than not having any tools at all. Plus, I can actually do the jobs because I have the supplies. Because right now, it's gonna be a major headache taking everything out of my back every time I need to go to bed, and like setting it all outside. That's just gonna be a pain in my nuts. Speaking of which, it's 11:40, so I should clean up my stuff and go to bed.